Chelsea look good
in going forward.
going forward.
I mean,
Goalkeeper?
shocking defensively. Yeah, not just the goalkeeper.
No, I know.
He will take a lot of the flack, but defensively, they were all over the place. But going forward, I mean, Cole Palmer. There's been a lot of good individual performances this weekend. You know, Wissa, McBurney, Enciso, Sangare, De Kuiper. That was the individual performance of the weekend.
Brilliant.
By far. He was utterly sensational.
His finish is excellent as well. The centre-back has to match the run, but it's an excellent finish. He'd one run second half as well, where he took about 3 or 4 on. He just, I mean, it was reasonably wide of the post, but lovely to watch. They looked really lively, what I saw going forward, mate. Really lively.
They looked
but is that what we expected? You know, with the greatest respect, you know, there's always going to be a question mark about him defensively. I think the goalkeeper's suspect for both goals.
Yeah.
Certainly the first one. He's positioning for the first one. And I don't know, is it Rodgers lets him run? Somebody lets the forward run, but that said, he's too far to his right-hand side.
I mean, to me, you know, it's sticking out like a sore thumb. Emi Martinez is training on his own at Villa at the moment. You know, hello? I mean, surely Chelsea will be interested.
You would think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
He'd be perfect for that side.
I mean, you know, the opening goal was a shot. Oh, by the way, for Fulham, I thought, you know, I was listening to some of the commentary and some of the comments before and afterwards, but I thought there was plenty to encourage Fulham fans there as well. Young, exciting side. And in the first half, Josh King was electric. I mean, absolutely electric. Oscar Bob did well as well, I thought, you know. I mean, I just think that there was plenty of encouragement for Alvaro Arbeloa there as well. But at the end of the day, it's Chelsea are off to a win. So on the basis of what you saw last night, do you think they could push Arsenal at all? They've got them in 2 games' time, by the way.
From what I saw last night, do you know what I think? I think they could beat Arsenal on one-off. I'm not sure they've got consistency to take Arsenal over the 38 games, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, I think they've got real quality in forward areas going forward. You know, the finishes, Ian Perro's first finish, a beautiful finish. Cole Palmer, when he's like that, he's irresistible to watch. He really is. He's just wonderful to watch. They've got brilliant players. But I just don't think that consistency-wise, I look, you know, you're going to have to maintain a level of consistency over the 7-8 months, and I'm not sure Chelsea will do that.
Yeah.
But I think they could beat Arsenal on one-off, definitely.
Yeah. I completely agree. I think that's exactly the situation. I think over the season, Arsenal's qualities and organisation and consistency will probably be too much for Chelsea.
See, there's games, you know, throughout the season where you don't play well, you have to sneak a 1-0 or something like that, and I just think Chelsea looks suspect defensively. I'm not sure that they could guarantee a 1-0.
No, absolutely not. Danny Murphy was on commentary duty at Craven Cottage last night for talkSPORT. He broke down what makes this Chelsea front three so good.
Well, there's a lovely mix, isn't there? So you've got the running in behind of João Pedro, but also clever on the link-up, can see little give and goes and passes. You've got Palmer, who's much more of a technical player, who moves the ball and manipulates the ball and sees passes from nowhere and scores goals from everywhere. And Rodgers is a bit of both. I mean, Rodgers is a wonderful athletic player who can fly past people with his pace, but he's also clever. You know, he can play little triangles and live with little give and goes and good awareness of where people are. So they're a nightmare to play against. And that's why I was saying before that system allows those three to defend very little. And that's really important if you want them so focused on winning your football matches.
Yeah. The thing I love about Cole Palmer, particularly last night, was, you know, he never takes the simple option. He always looks forward. Yeah. He always wants to make 100%. Something happen rather than pass the responsibility.
Absolutely. You know, and the talent and vision that he's got is you know, excellent. I think his first year at Chelsea was brilliant. Second, I'm not sure, he obviously dipped a little, but I just feel he's got a lot to prove. A little bit like Foden this year. You know, they've got a lot to prove to themselves and a lot of people. You know, so it's big years for the pair of them, but he's certainly, he's hit the ground running, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Fulham should have got something out of the game, you know, because Anthony Robinson, that chance when he's through, one-on-one the goalkeeper and he lobs it wide, it could easily have finished 3-3. And of course, Sanchez is getting the brickbats this morning. New manager Xabi Alonso was asked about his keeper's performance after the game.
No, we haven't had time to speak much about the team, just a little few words with the whole team.
And what was your view of that particular
I've said that both goals, I think that we can defend better, both goals.
They got a difficult start, by the way, as well, because Brighton at home, we saw what Brighton did to Villa at the weekend, and then Arsenal away in their next 2 games. But it all seems really positive at the moment for them, that is for sure.
You're right about you're right with the goalkeeper. I mean, I think he should do better. However, particularly the first goal, I think King runs away from Rodgers. Rodgers turns his back and he goes in behind them, which isn't good enough. And I know what Danny was saying there. You know, they've got a lovely blend in forward areas, but I mean, you can't shirk your defensive responsibilities in that manner.
Enzo Fernandez started on the bench. He came on, and of course, he came on to an absolute cacophony of boos, which is something he's going to face every single time he plays for Chelsea in this country. I mean, I wonder what impact that has, if any, on his, not just him, but on his teammates.
Well, it has to have an impact.
The mood.
Jeff, it has to have an impact on him, and it certainly has. It must have an impact on his teammates as well. It's how they handle it. You know, I mean, that's the important thing. It'd be crazy, and I think it would just be wrong to say it would not have any impact at all, because of course it does. You know, absolutely it does. If you're getting booed, it has an impact on you. You can do it different ways. You can say, oh, I'm not having this, and you can leave, or you roll up your sleeves and say, right, I'm not going to let it bother me that much. I'm going to try and work with it. So there's different ways you handle it. But it'll be interesting. But you're right. I think it's almost guaranteed just about every away ground.
Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely guaranteed. Yeah. There's no question about that. I think some Chelsea fans are in 2 minds about him as well. Will anybody pay 120 million for him?
A lot of money, isn't it? Yeah. It's an awful lot of money.
Yeah.
Mind you, if you're going to pay 50 for Delap, you know.
Yeah. Bargain.
Yeah. It's. I mean, for example, Delap needs to go away and gets playing again, and he will. And he'll score goals. I think he'll score goals elsewhere. But just the logic of that transfer and that transfer fee,
I know,
can't sit with, can it?
No, it's crazy. Pet hate. João Pedro, excellent. I thought he was excellent last night.
He was.
He's not the only one. It's just the example from last night. Don't wag your finger at officials. I hate it.
Yeah.
You know, he wags his finger at officials. Now, I think, personally, if producing a pretend yellow card to get somebody booked is a yellow card, wagging your finger at the officials should be the same, because, you know, I mean, it is disrespect. And he was wrong, by the way, because the assistant was absolutely right on that occasion. You see it all the time. It's a little pet hate. But he was very, very good. Had a great pre-season as well, and he's carried on in that way. Simon says he's a Hull fan. He says, morning, guys, 50 million for Delap is crazy money. You couldn't agree anymore, Simon. And again, I think he'd still be a good buy for somebody, but just not at that price. Chelsea fans, what your calls this morning? Sound commentary last night. You know, Chelsea got the best front three in the league.
I'm not sure about that.
It had me thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. It's a bit of a statement, that. I mean, I think they're excellent, but you look at other front threes and you can make comparisons. It's effectively, it's just there's no definitive there. It's just an opinion.
Yeah. Is Robert Sanchez the only thing stopping you from winning the league? I would question that as well, to be brutally honest. But he certainly, you know, could put a dent in your hopes. Is Emi Martinez the answer? Jimmy, the Chelsea fan, says, don't forget Caicedo didn't play last night. No, he didn't. And it was quite interesting, the explanation beforehand, where Xabi Alonso wasn't willing to say he was injured. He just wasn't quite ready. He said, nor did Palestra, and you're absolutely right again. And Jimmy, he's the eternal optimist. Jimmy, I love it. At this time in the morning, strong chance we replace Fernandez with Alex Scott or Adam Wharton as well. In your dreams, Jimmy, pal.
Oh, you take Wharton. I like Wharton.
Well, also Alex Scott.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm in serious.
Yeah, you're taking either of them.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah. However, at the moment, they've got Caicedo. Yeah, completely agree. That will shield that back three or whatever it may be in the future.
So we're going to round up some of the back page stories. Are you watching, Thomas? Picture of Cole Palmer on the back page of the Times. From what you've seen last night, do you think Chelsea have the best front three in the Premier League?
I don't know. Listen, they've got an excellent front three. Brilliant.
Who's better then? There we go.
Well, no, Arsenal's isn't bad. Man City's isn't bad.
Chelsea's front three looked very good last night. Another headline on the back page.
You get Ekitike back. Isak goes on a run. They could be an absolutely excellent front three. So, in answer to the question, very, very good. You take it all day. Whether they're the best or not would be up for debate.
Well, on the back page of the Daily Mail, cheers Morgan. He got off to a good start, didn't he? He did. Record signing. Blues keep cool in a thriller. You just feel as though João Pedro, Morgan Rogers, Cole Palmer, they just look so fluid and linking up already really well.
And Danny, listen to Danny earlier on, he's spot on. They all bring something different to the party. There's a lovely combination. There's a lovely mix between the three of them. Yes. Yeah.
Jamie Carragher was saying last night that Chelsea won't win the Premier League with Robert Sanchez in goal. Jeff, do you agree?
It's not just Robert Sanchez. Defensively, look, they look lovely going forward. But as I mentioned a moment or two ago, Fulham really should have got something out of that game. Anthony Robinson is through one-on-one with Sanchez, lobs the ball, I was going to say wide, but is so far wide, but they had chances, and that was the problem. Chelsea gave Fulham, who I thought were quite encouraging, they gave them a few chances. They couldn't cope with Josh King. And I just think that defensively, and the texter is right. If Caicedo's back, he'll give them more of a shield. That is for sure. I don't know Palestra. I haven't seen him play, so can't really comment on that one. But I think defensively, they're too vulnerable. Obviously, massive questions over the goalkeeper.